Good morning, and welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. Trialling a new show, the Monday Morning Chat, coming to you, as it says on the tin, on a Monday morning, whilst you're either with a brew, with a bacon sandwich, getting ready for the working week, and bringing you up to date with all the West Ham, all the latest West Ham news and views and sort of opinions going round the club. And of course, I didn't really do a reflection after the proceedings at Selhurst Park on Saturday lunchtime. And that's what I'm sort of do on this video. Mention the Zouma injury. How many points will we need to survive now we've opened that relegation door back up again? And how I think the opportunity has gone. And we've put that back a few weeks now, which could be detrimental to many things. But that's all coming up on today's show. So it's a trial. We may do it again. We may not. But I hope you do enjoy it nevertheless. And we'll get straight on into it then. And I'll start with the main bit of news. And that is with Kurt Zouma. Now, of course, the speculation began on Saturday after he went off with what looks like a leg or knee injury at Selhurst Park. Now, we've had confirmed now through sources and ex-WHU employee that, of course, we're going to have to wait until the results come back from his scans that he's had, which we'd expect to be either today or tomorrow to see the severity of it. He was, as a safety precaution, he was pictured leaving Selhurst Park yesterday in a protective boot, which is standard procedure, but it always looks a bit worse when a player's in a protective boot, doesn't it? So it's not good, obviously. Zouma is probably and arguably our best centre half. That's up for debate, of course, with Nerfigerd there, and maybe Ogbonna in that mix as well. But in my opinion, he's the best centre back we currently have at this club. He's a rock. The amount of interceptions, clearances, he's always in the right place at the right time, as was Craig Dawson whilst he was at the club. Always in the right place, getting, blocking all of those shots and blocks and opportunities. He cuts out so many of them that goes unnoticed amongst many fans, I believe. And his work is really, really, needed in the team. And when he does go, and when he's not involved, our form and the statistics back it up, and the way we defend back it up as well, because we just fall to absolute shambles when he's not there. And I think we saw that to an extent, on Saturday as well. But by no means did I think we defended well when he was on the pitch. But when he went off, it just seemed to get worse. And Ogbonna, he's aging. I've got a lot of respect for the man. But Kurt Zouma is a better centre-back. And if we can get him back there as soon as possible. One thing X did add, of course, it's speculation. He said, obviously, Zouma has recovered from injuries like this quicker than expected in the past. So hopefully we can see more of the same with this. But, I mean, I'm no doctor, but he's got a boot on. He didn't look in too much comfort going off the pitch. He looked quite agitated with obviously what he'd pulled or nicked or whatever he'd done to his leg or knee or whatever's happened. So you definitely expect him out for Wednesday and probably Sunday and probably beyond that to the Brentford game as well. But let's hope we can get him back in some capacity towards the end of the season. If we make it that far to Prague, we definitely will need him there. And more looking into the near future as well, it'll be so good if we could have him involved in these European semi-finals we've got coming up, because he's the best defender we currently have at this football club. And that's my thoughts. I think he's the best centre back we have there, and he is an injury-prone player, which is the only sort of downside to him for me, because I don't really have a bad word to say about him in terms of on the pitch football. He's a very, very good player, and again in games coming up, I think we're going to see the effect of not having him there. Obviously, will Moyes rotate on Wednesday at the Etihad? I'm not so sure, but we're going to see certainly a different sort of back line no matter what now, because Zuma's not going to be there. So will he go for Ogbonna and a Gerd? Will he mix it up even more and maybe chuck Johnson and Kerr in there? We will have to wait and see, but it's definitely added to the conundrums that face David Moyes now in the run-in with 5 Premier League games left, a two-legged European semi-final to contend with. Plenty indeed for Moyes to be thinking about ahead of our upcoming games. And just overall on a whole from the game on Saturday, I think the opportunity's gone there. I've mentioned it on, the instant match reaction on the Premier League Roundup show last night with Sean as well, is that we've lost that opportunity. We had the opportunity to do what Bournemouth did this weekend and put the relegation woes to completely put them to bed, completely forget about them and worry about the European, worry about the European competition we've got coming up, worry about the semi-final that can book our spot in the European final. But no, we've now sort of push that on a bit, and we've got a week that many fans have written off completely. I've written off Wednesday night. We're not going to get anything at Man City. Forget it, right? I'd rather Moyes rotated more and we take the 3-0 loss and just move on. We've got a game on Sunday, 7 p.m. on BT Sport again against Manchester United at home, which I think is a more winnable football match, definitely. Do I think we'll win it? No, I think we can get a point out of it at the very least. But we could quite easily lose both of those football matches. That's reality. Then we go into a game against our, newly proclaimed bogey side in Brentford, who we never seem to beat. Although we did beat them in the FA Cup, didn't we? But in the Premier League, we've got a dire record against Brentford since they came up to the Premier League a couple of seasons ago. So with that in consideration, you never know what's going to happen away from home at Brentford last year. If you cast your minds back to when we played them at the Brentford Community Stadium last year, it was after a European game. It was one of our worst performances of the season, and we lost 2-0. So hopefully we're going to, fingers crossed, not have more of the same when we visit there in a couple of weeks' time. And then, we could end up not maybe picking up a point, but worst comes to worst, a few fans have said, we could lose all 3 of those games because Brentford are a good side. Then we're going in to the last 2 games needing to get 3 points. Leeds, you never know what's going to happen there. And we do not want to go into the last day of the season needing something. We might have enough points on the board now, but I still think another win is needed just to put all of our minds to rest and really then worry about those European games we've got coming up, because that's what we all want to do. We want to enjoy going to these places, Amsterdam, maybe Prague if we get there. We want to enjoy these nights, but I don't think we can until we secure Premier League safety. Now I've said all this, we'll probably go and beat Man City on Wednesday and secure it there, but just that one more win, which would have been perfect to get at Selhurst Park. But we were played off the pitch, and you can't deny that. Penalty decision aside, we were played off the pitch and we didn't deserve to get anything. And that's what we got, nothing in the end. So yeah, we've made it difficult for ourselves, of course. West Ham United, that's who we are, that's what we do. But we just need another 3 points for me to put my mind to rest and to secure safety in the Premier League. So how many points do we really need to survive is the big question lurking around the fan base now. I think 35 will be enough. So that's really for us now. 1 more point from the last 5 games. 36 is going to be more than enough. So a win takes us up to 37, which is going to be plenty. So if we just get, as I said, just those 3 more valuable points to secure that safety and then move on, and then we can look ahead to whatever's coming up in the future of this football club. But yeah, what we need to do is hopefully get Zouma back as soon as possible, because without him there, we've got an awful record and we just look defensively all over the place, all over the shop. So hopefully with Zouma out again, that won't be detrimental to, to conceding more goals and being an absolute nightmare defensively. Hopefully that can not come to light, and you never know, he might be back on Sunday against Manchester United. It might have just been a knock, or could we see him out for the rest of the season, a couple of weeks? We'll have to wait and see the word on that from the scan as and when we get the result of it. But yeah, City on Wednesday, not expecting much or anything at all. Not expecting anything. I'm just hoping Moyes rotates it, give those key players a rest, because we're going to lose whatever side we put out, and that's just the reality of it. If we're being real about it, we're going to lose the football match. If we get anything, I'll be astounded beyond belief. So with that in mind, the common thing to do would be to rest some players ahead of more important and more gettable and more winnable games, or at least getting points games coming up against Man United, Brentford, Leicester and Leeds as our last remaining 4 games after this one up at the Etihad on Wednesday. Man City aren't going to slip up now, are they? They do this every year. They finish the season really, really well. They're now top of the league, and they won't want to squander that with their game in hand that gives them the opportunity to go 4 points top at the Premier League at home. I'm sorry, but I just don't see us standing a chance. But we'll have a preview, of course, for that game coming up very soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. So that's my 3 subjects I've discussed today. There's the Zouma injury, the opportunity that I feel we've lost at Selhurst Park, and of course, how many points do we need to survive? So yeah, thanks for watching from me, Come Your Eyes. This has been the Monday morning chat. Cheers. And we'll see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.